Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, a month after the war broke out between Israel and Hamas militants, 40 more Filipinos and other foreign nationals in war-torn Gaza evacuate to safer ground. Filipinos in Israel continue to arrive home in batches. Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega joins us in the program. And later, a shakeup in key positions in the House of Representatives as hundreds of lawmakers rally behind Speaker Martin Romualdez. Surigao del Sur 2nd District Representative Johnny Pimentel tells us more later in the show. With breaking news here on CNN Philippines, 40 Filipinos and hundreds more foreign nationals were evacuated from war-torn Gaza to Egypt through the Rafah border crossing. President Bongbong Marcos says the Filipinos will be repatriated from Cairo, Egypt in the coming days. He also thanks the embassies of Israel, Jordan, and Egypt for making the safe passage possible. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega. Usec de Vega, welcome to the source, sir. Good news. Let's talk about that. 40 of our Filipinos who have been stuck in that Rafah crossing border have now crossed into Egypt.
Good morning. Yes, I noticed you were showing pictures of me earlier and they were with a scowl. Your photo pics of me are with a scowl and now I'm smiling. Maybe next time you'll show me with a smile.
We'll do that, sir.
I'd like to confirm that 40 crossed into the Egypt border. It took several hours at the crossing to get them through. And now they're with the embassy. They are on their way to Cairo. They should be there any minute now.
Mm-hmm. When they get to Cairo, Usec, what happens from there on?
Well, they'll be given accommodations, ayuda, assistance, of course, and they will be flown within the next few days. They might be here in Manila as early as Friday.
As early as Friday. But Usec, are we expecting all 40 of them to arrive on Friday? Or will this also again be in batches?
No. The idea was we had a block voting for block reservation of tickets.
I see. So all 40 will be able to make it back home. Hopefully by Friday. Usec, just tell us any information on how they're doing, their condition, and who among the 40, if you can tell us, were able to make it to Egypt.
Well, the 40 are in a bus, all in one bus, along with their ambassador, and they are on their way to Cairo right now. They were picked up last night at the border. Mm-hmm. Actually, the Israelis and the Egyptians, and that's why our president was thanking them, gave approvals for 46, but only 40 crossed. 6, for some reason or other, decided to still stay in Gaza and maybe join other batches. So 40 crossed. It took several hours at the Egypt side for them to be processed. Mm-hmm. And then roughly around 10 p.m. last night, or 10:30 p.m. last night local time, they were picked up by our embassy because they were finally released and are now being brought to Cairo. It's only about 3 a.m. in Cairo right now. Okay. And will take about 6 or 7 hour ride. So
yeah,
they're there.
Probably in an hour.
Two pregnant women. Two pregnant women and 3 sanggol, 3 infants with the group. So they'll need special care. But they are very happy that trauma is over at least.
I can imagine. Yeah. Usec, did any of the 40 actually include any of their Palestinian family members?
Yes, there was one. No, the 41st was a Palestinian citizen who managed to join her Filipino-Palestinian mestizo husband through the efforts of the Red Crescent, the Islamic Red Cross. No? nandun, nagbaka sakali na palusot, and she's allowed in. And she's joining her husband to the Philippines. And if you will notice from the pictures, a lot of the 40 are actually half Palestinian. They are children of the original Filipino mother, and they have Filipino citizenship. So there are you can say Palestinian family members. There is also the big possibility that the Palestinian spouses of Filipinos still left at the border will also be allowed. Maybe not all of them, because they're undergoing security check.
Yeah.
But there has been easing up of the restrictions, and we expect Palestinian spouses to eventually also join the next batches.
So the agreement already has been they have been given the go signal. Would that be correct, sir, to say that they've been given the go signal to bring their Palestinian husbands with them to Manila?
Yes, there's a verbal statement. We're just waiting for the written approval. It is possible, though, that not all the spouses will make it because they are undergoing the security checks. And after all, Israel has said that they do not want Hamas members or sympathizers to be leaving Gaza. So we hope that spouses will be that. So that will be the only reason why some might not be allowed out. We'll find out within the week, certainly.
Were there any conditions set by Israel and even Egypt upon the crossing of these 40? I think now you're saying it's 41, including a spouse.
41st is not a Filipino citizen,
Yes.
it's a Palestinian spouse. So
Yeah.
that's limited to 40 nationals. But 41 will be coming here. All right, the only conditions, Egypt said, do not make them stay in Egypt. They will go home. And anyway, we thank Egypt for that. Israel, of course, let's put it this way. Our friendship with Israel and support for Israel has paid off.
That's why even the president was thanking Israel for the this permission to finally have kababayans crossover. And in fact,
yes,
you said the president was thanking the DFA for this as well.
Well, our embassies in Tel Aviv, under Ambassador Pedro Lilo, Amman, under Ambassador Wilfredo Santos, and certainly Cairo, under Ambassador Ezedin Tago, have been in the forefront, and I think everybody knows I've been working on this, and Secretary Manalo as well.
Right. Usec,
Thank you, President.
So with this, when can we expect the next batch to cross, and how many are they? Because if you said there was an opening of 46, but only 40 went, what happened to the 6? Is it because they were hesitant because maybe their spouses were not allowed to cross with them? What happened to them?
No, from what we know, it's a family thing. In one case, it's a small child with a Filipino-Palestinian father. They have to stay in Gaza because the child is sick. So they're in the hospital, so they'll stay. In the other case, it's kind of confusing. They would like to cross, but they don't want to leave Egypt. They want to stay in Egypt.
I see.
Because their Palestinian husband is out in Egypt. So we're still fixing this. It's not that they don't want to cross. Eventually, they will cross.
Okay.
Hopefully, they'll recover. Yes.
But that's my question, Usec, no? Sorry, just to follow up on that. Because it opened last night, their time, local time. Ano po?
Morning, not last night, morning, the border.
No, you said they crossed at 10 p.m. local time. Anyway.
No, they crossed around the afternoon, but it took several hours to process them at the border control. So they were let out at 10 p.m.
All right.
I mean, how do you say? What's the word?
So, Usec,
Yes.
I guess my question is how important and what kind of appeal do you have possibly to the Filipinos still there? Because we understand there's about over 134, 135 Filipinos still in Gaza. Any appeal? Because now that the border is open, should they take advantage. Siguro wag nang magdalawang isip. I guess siguro yun yung tanong ko, sir, para po sa kanila.
Ito po. Tama po. So let's say there were 135 subtracted by 40, and then you add their spouses. There's slightly over 100 Filipinos plus Palestinian spouses. They are not free to just cross at any time. There will be a schedule for that. And precisely because of our good relations with both countries, we expect it very soon. It could be within the next 24 hours that they will allow the next batch. And it could be another batch of 50 or even maybe over 100 Filipinos plus Palestinian spouses. Go now. So what we are calling for is, mga kababayan, it's already mandatory evacuation. Our embassy in Amman is calling all of you. Go to the border and wait, because any time now you will be allowed to cross. And if you stay in Gaza out of your own free will, there's no guarantee, first, of your safety, and number two, that you'll be given priority in future days crossings. So, habang ngayon, itong linggo, it could be within the next 24 to 48 hours, you'll be told, go. Filipinos, it's turn of the, because they announce them by nationalities. That's how the border crossing goes. They say, Filipinos, please cross as soon as possible.
Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega, sir, thank you so much for your time.
I like your smile. That means we're working well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And coming up, a stunning shakeup in the House of Representatives as Pampanga Representative and former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and Davao City Representative Isidro Ungab get ousted as deputy speakers. Surigao del Sur 2nd District Representative Johnny Pimentel tells us more after the break. Please stay tuned.